Let's face it, homebrewing is dead, or at least it appears to be that way. Less and less content creators are posting videos, or just posting less frequently, myself included. Homebrew conferences and festivals are downsizing or disappearing, homebrew shops are closing down, and the influx of new hobbyists that seemed to peak during COVID has leveled off, if not fallen off. The simple fact is that new people are not picking up the hobby and experienced people are setting it aside. But I think I know how to fix it. I think we just got a little lost in our ways. Today I just wanted to kind of sit down and talk about the state of homebrewing. I haven't posted a video in a while and I felt like this was a good time to kind of talk about it. I actually have a few larger projects that are taking a little more time, so while those are in the works, I figured why not open this up and start the conversation. So as I sit here and rant, I want you to jump on down into the comments and let me know what your relationship with homebrewing is right now. Did you just start? Have you been around for a while? Or have you stopped brewing altogether? I want to hear your perspective and hear from you. I'm just kind of curious to get a pulse check on how things are going and hear from the community. So you might have seen a few other channels post about this subject, so it's really not anything new, but I do feel it's more true than ever that homebrewing just kind of feels stale right now, and I'm not exactly sure why. It might have something to do with the lack of creativity in beer. I mean, for a few years, there seemed to be a new IPA style every year, so maybe people are just tired of IPAs and the way of craft beer right now. I mean, there certainly seems to be a sentiment on the internet, at least in my bubble, of anti-IPA.
I hate IPA, fucking IPA, I can't stand a motherfucking IPA.
Or maybe it's a generational thing. The news loves to tell us how Gen Z doesn't drink. But homebrewing has always kind of been a thing for later in life, with one study saying the average homebrewer is 42 years old, and 52% of homebrewers are between the ages of 30 and 49. Which means you can't really blame Gen Z when the oldest member in their group is about to turn 28. Based on that data, are millennials to blame? It sort of makes sense. They tend to enjoy living a healthier lifestyle, but they're also said to have granny hobbies, like bird watching and gardening. You'd think homebrewing would fit right into that. The next thing I thought might be the current cost of living. I mean, it's no surprise to anyone that things are more expensive than ever, and homebrewing is certainly not cheap. And that, in my opinion, is one of the major contributing factors to why homebrewing is dying. Everything is expensive. I have the benefit of making videos for my favorite hobby, so that comes with perks like getting access to gear to try. But I'm not blind to the fact that the stuff I use is out of the price range for many. I think new aspiring hobbyists might look at my videos and see fancy stainless equipment like kettles and kegs and immediately click out because they think homebrewing is out of reach. And I don't blame them. I do the same thing for many other hobbies that I watch. Which brings me to the main reason I think homebrewing is dying. We lost the simplicity. I think many homebrewers are conditioned to desire the newest, hottest brewing gear because it makes brewing easier or it looks cool, but then forget the simple origins that made homebrewing attractive in the first place. I remember getting a Mr. Beer kit for Christmas one year, and sure the instructions were limited, and sure the beer turned out horrible, but in the end I was holding a bottle of homemade beer. It was like magic, and it wasn't hard to do. Just took less than an hour to mix everything together and stick it in a bucket, or in their case, a plastic barrel. People love to crap on Mr. Beer kits, but how many times have you heard that exact same story? And even if only 50% of the people that started with the Mr. Beer kit continued on to brew, at least they stepped their toes in and gave it a go. That's certainly something we're missing from the current state of homebrewing. So, what's the solution? If the goal is to get new people into the hobby and get them to stick around, that first beer they make needs to be accessible, easy to make, cheap, and taste great. To me, that sings partial mash brewing on a small scale. Brewing a 1 gallon batch means you don't need any special equipment. You can just mash in your stock pot you already have on your stove and use a small mesh bag or even a cheesecloth for steeping grains. The only thing the new brewer needs to get is a simple ingredient kit with malt extract, specialty grains, pre-milled of course, hops, and then yeast. And for the love of all that's holy, why do beginner homebrew kits not just come with Kvike? It solves almost any issue a beginner homebrewer might have. In my first Mr. Beer kit, it came with a lager yeast, a notoriously hard yeast to brew with due to its temp requirements. Even keeping a ferment in proper ale temperature can be tough, but with certain strains of Kvike, you can ferment up to 90+ degrees Fahrenheit, and some even benefit from underpitching. It's basically a foolproof yeast that still makes an amazing beer. Then all you need is a fermenter. But you can do a 1 gallon batch in an old juice jug, or if you're willing to get a little DIY, build a fermenter from a big box store for less than $10. The closest kit that I can find is the new Flash brewing kits from More Beer, which actually was so easy that I brewed one up during a live stream recently with nearly no issues. I want to accidentally shoot. Oh, just shot it over my desk. And the finished beer was shockingly good. Here it is, actually. It has none of that extracty flavor that we used to talk about with Mr. Beer kits and whatnot. And it tastes surprisingly like a modern IPA. More Beer is not a sponsor, but this is actually one innovation that makes me hopeful for the future of homebrewing. And I'm excited to see what they develop next. It's thoughts like this that will help new people want to give the hobby a try and be excited to stay. And these simpler ways to brew might also entice older brewers to want to jump back in. I mean, the barrier for re-entry is lower than ever, and if you want to just experiment, 1 gallon batches are perfect for this. Can we please normalize small batch brewing and also stop looking down on malt extract brews? But don't get me started on homebrew machines for beginners. Those are not the answer. Also, if you look at channels like my friend Charlie's, aka Golden Hive Mead, you can clearly see there are people out there who yearn to learn about homebrewing. The numbers are there, which gives me hope. He just does an amazing job of showing how easy it can be to make mead. We just need to find that for beer. Which brings me to my last point. Creators like myself hold some responsibility too. Only showcasing the best of the best equipment isn't going to appeal to newbies. And that's partly why I haven't been posting as many beer videos recently. I needed to take a step back and look at it from the perspective of a younger me. 10 years ago when I was watching YouTube, it was mainly dudes in their garages putting DIY gear together and being scrappy. They made it seem easy. They made it seem attainable for someone like me. So moving forward, I want to try and implement some of that back into my channel. I want to try making beer with limited equipment, but using my current day knowledge. Or ferment things beyond beer, things like ginger beer or kefir that can easily be done in the average kitchen with no prior experience. But don't worry if you still watch me for advanced recipes, I'll still plan to do some on my full system, but I'll probably only bring it if it's a super unique or special recipe. But I still want it to be attainable for the newcomer. So is homebrewing actually dead? No. It probably will never die. As long as there's people passionate enough to go out into their garage or into their basement, outside, or into their kitchen and brew something for a special event, a holiday, or even just for themselves, homebrewing will always be here. And hopefully together we can find some new folks to join us along the way. Real quick before you go, I just want to say thank you for watching all the way to the end. I know this one was a little bit different. And I also want to say a huge thank you for watching for the last almost 5 years. It still amazes me how many of you out there are interested in the same weird fermentations like me. So, cheers. And a special thank you to the channel members. These are the folks that have supported me through the so-called death of homebrewing. Their support means I don't need to rely on the fluctuating status of this hobby and whether or not a video performs well. They choose to support me because they want to see me making content no matter what. So, thank you. And if you're interested in doing the same, consider clicking the join button down below. Thank you, keep on brewing, and I'll see you on the next one.